Islam. First, I give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe. I give honor to his holy and divine prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honor to everything that pertains to Islam, and I give honor to all of you who have joined us tonight. I give honor to my sisters on the panel. Welcome back to Girl Talk, Real Talk, Moorish Talk. Our topic this evening is women on the plane of things made manifest. I am Sister Ingrid Ill, Temple 71, Washington, D.C.
Islam, Islam, Islam. I like to rise and give all praises to Allah, honor the Prophet Noble Ali, honors to all of our panelists, all of our watchers, listeners, Islam Morris. This is Sister Tiffany Hopkins Bay out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Temple number 11, Islam.
Islam. My name is Sister. First, I'd like to rise and give praises to Allah. I give honors to his prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to everything pertaining to Islamism and everything that our sisters gave honors to and will give honors to. Welcome back to Real Talk, Girl Talk, Moorish Talk. Peace.
Islam. My name is Sister A. Ravanobe from Temple number 21, Brooklyn, New York. I first give praise to the great God of the universe, Allah, and I give honor to the Holy Prophet. I give honor to these amazing sisters that I get to be with this evening, and give honor to all those that are here with us today to have this wonderful discussion. And so I give honor to everything that all the sisters have given to, and I can't wait to have Sister Greer kick us off this evening.
Islam, excuse me, viewers. Our title is actually Being a Woman on the Plane of Things Made Manifest. So I'm going to go ahead with our first question, and it is, as said, while showing up for everyone else, have you realized, or when you did realize, that it was time to show up for yourself? How did you feel about it? What was the decision? I'm sorry. How did you feel about the decision that you made? And I'll read it again if need be. You need me to read that again?
Go ahead, sis.
Okay. So it says, while showing up for everyone else, have you realized, or when you did realize, that it was time to show up for yourself, how did you feel about the decision you made? Mm-hmm. Meaning, I'll expand a little bit. When you made the decision, or if you've made the decision to show up for yourself, how did you feel about it? You know, because sometimes we can feel selfish about showing up for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Islam. I think I would say showing up for yourself means showing up for others mean that you're showing up for yourself, depending on your experience and where you're at along the way. It feels good because it's actually sharing is caring is what we learn, right? So when you give to others, you're actually showing up, you know, and when you do for yourself, you are enhancing yourself to be better at showing up. So it feels good to show up for others, and it feels wonderful, amazing to show up for yourself. I think that's a part of nurturing and reflecting on your own life first, because you can't give to people what you don't have yourself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Praise Allah. So for me, Islam, I'm sorry, I should have said that first, but praise Allah. For me, I feel like when, and this is me personally, when I show up for myself, it's like I need that time in doing whatever it is that I need to do. And for me, it's like you go through day in, day out, taking care of everybody and everything that you possibly can. And when I get to the point where I feel like, okay, I need to take time for me, it's because it's a much needed time. And so I remember in my younger days, I used to feel like I shouldn't do it. Like I thought like being a mom and being a wife and stuff like that meant that I had to consistently do everything for them 24/7, all day, every day. And if I went to like go get my nails done or I went to, go to the spa or something like that, like I used to feel guilty. And then I had to like get into the mindset, like, listen, I need that moment to breathe. I need that moment to just focus. I need that moment. Sometimes you need time to get into your Quran and just be able to think and meditate in peace and quiet. And so now I feel like any moment that I possibly can get to myself, whereas though I'm able to think, I love it. I love it. Praise Allah.
Well, sisters, I'm a little different on this one. I had to grow into that level of understanding. For many, many years, I thought that, because I would hear the word of how much work there is to be done. Work on yourself, working on our community, working on building a nation. And so for me, it took me a while to get there because I thought that every moment I needed to be doing something to contribute to this nation. I need to be doing something to contribute to the world. I need to be doing something for whoever and whatever it is, because there's just so much. And I didn't figure that out much. I intellectually understood that when you fill yourself up, you would give. Right. And I would prioritize maybe meditating and trying to have a relationship with Allah. But it took me a long time to realize I actually needed to just sit in peace and recharge my body. That was different. But I still sometimes very much struggle with that, because I think about, the Prophet says he shortened our days to make it so. And I feel like, okay, I'm a mother. I have to do this, but okay, what Allah used me to do something good. And so sometimes I got very caught up in, you got to keep going, you got to keep going. And the world will tell you, you got to do more, you got to do more, because that's what's required. And then as I've gotten older, I realized that sometimes actually being in that peaceful moment of meditating or taking care of yourself so you can give more allows you to do that. And it was just hard to understand that when I was younger, because I felt that, what I need to get my nails done for, right? Like, I got work to do, we got this to do, and then I would feel guilty about it, like, man, I'm doing my nails right now, but maybe I shouldn't, maybe I should be sitting here figuring out how to do somebody else's nails who needs it, who will help their self-esteem, you know what I mean? Or give back in that way, or I need to do this. And so I'm gonna be honest, I have not gotten that figured out, and it still takes me time. And I think for me, it was when, Allah puts you in situations where you're like, okay, it's time to sit down. When you get sick, you got to sit down. And then I started to learn that, oh, okay, it's needed, because it will refuel you. So that's just me being honest. I ain't had that figured out.
Yeah. Praise Allah. Islam. It took me a long time to get here. There was a time where I was everywhere. I had to be everywhere and show up for everybody and everything. And I remember thinking to myself, man, I wish I was a clone so I could like spread myself, show up to this anniversary, show up to that baby shower, show up, I just needed to be everywhere for everybody. And my intentions were good. I would go out and buy gifts and do this. And then I would be depleted and no one was there to hold me up. And then I realized I felt like resentments were kicking in, were setting in, and although my intentions were pure, when I was left depleted, I was just left with myself and my thoughts, right? And it was a gloomy time for me, which is the reason why I was so busy to begin with, because I didn't want to sit still and think, I just had to keep moving. And let me tell you, when you start begging Allah for change, it takes place, you know.
Mhm.
And now if I can't do it, I can't do it. I was sharing with this
Mhm.
last night. You know, no is a complete sentence. And sometimes I just can't do it. You know, my peace is very important to me. Um I work hard to get here because my committee up here were on a mission,
Mhm.
right? And all those voices in my head telling me to do this and do that. It was so noisy up there. And now they have come and listen, all of the voices were my own,
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know. Um, but they've calmed down. Some of them have went on about their business, praise Allah.
Wow. Praise Allah.
And it's just peaceful, and I don't feel bad about saying, you know, I can't right now.
Right.
You know, I can't show up for everything and everybody. I'm not going to. You
Right.
know, being in the I remember dreading to come home at night sometimes, some years ago. I would dread to come home at night because I would be lonely and by myself. Now
Mm.
when I'm out, I be fantasizing about getting home because being at home in this living room, you know, is like my jam, you know, with a nice little movie and maybe some ice cream. That's my jam now, you know, and taking care of me, because without taking care of myself, there's no way I can really truly do everything for everyone. Like I may can financially help someone or physically show up, but my body is just there. I'm not there,
Mhm.
Mhm.
you know. So praise Allah for change and being willing to take time out for myself. Peace.
Praise Allah. I would like to jump in. You had something to say, Sister T. Hopkins Bay?
Yeah, but go ahead. I'll wait. All of that.
Because it kind of uh mixed inside with the second question I had
Mm.
about how have you practiced active self-care, and you all were speaking of that. Sister T. Hopkins Bay was saying what
Mm.
she was doing with in answering this question, so I want to bring that so we can keep the flow. um so how have you practiced active self-care? You pretty much was saying that, Sister Greer and Sister Ravenel Bay. If you can bring that back, because that's very important to share with others, because sometimes they might not have a way and your experience can help someone else. How do you actively show up in caring for yourself? What does it look like?
It looks like Islam. Were you speaking to me or Sister Hawkins?
Anybody? Anyone?
It looks like turning your phone off. It looks like, no, really, that's what it
Mhm.
looks like for me. It looks like turning your phone off. It looks like stopping calls at 8 o'clock. It looks like going to bed at a decent hour. It looks like coming home and praying to Allah when you first walk through the door. It
Mhm.
looks like praying to Allah before you go to bed. It looks
Mhm.
like a bubble bath, you know, with a
Mhm.
movie and sometimes a dinner too, all at the same time. You know, you've got your caddy there, your table in the tub, and you got your tablet and you got your
Mhm.
food. And you know, that's what self-care to me looks like. It looks like coming home and not turning on the TV for hours and just sitting still, staring at the wall or at the ceiling fan. Something I couldn't do some years ago, like
Right.
real live. I could not sit still with myself some
Right.
years ago. I'm real grateful that I'm able to do that now. I'm
Right.
not in. I don't have urgency to be out in the world. My
Mm,
urgency is to be inside where I'm safe and I
that's
can
right.
be close to Allah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Praise Allah. Sis, like I'm feeling some type of way. You get to sit back and watch the ceiling fan. Like I could never. I would never get that opportunity in life. Um, wow. When I grow up, man, when I grow up. But so what does it look like? Get into that question. So just to camel walk with Sister Raven Bay when she was saying how, getting your nails done, feeling guilty about getting that done. Man, I'll tell you, I went through many, many days of um going to the nail salon or going anywhere. Honestly, going anywhere by myself, I would feel bad. I would be like, I really need to be home doing this, that, and the third. But I also felt like I can't be at two places at once. I can't be out handling business and in the house with the children or doing what I got to do. Or I can't be at, this meeting and this birthday celebration. And,
Mhm.
sometimes it's a lot. And
Mhm.
praise God for the sister saying, sometimes you have to say no. So for me, and again, this was once I realized that I needed that peace, I would literally go to the store and just like walk around, like window shop. Like I didn't need to buy anything.
Mhm.
Um, praise the Lord for learning that lesson because
Mhm.
I used to buy stuff just for the sake of buying stuff. And my
Mhm.
husband would be like, "Well, what did you buy this for?" I'd be like, "I don't know. It was just look nice." And he'd be like, "Praise the Lord." And then we ended up just having stuff, and so I would just give stuff away. But that used to be like fun to me to just go and walk through the store.
Mhm.
So praise Allah for owning a business now. And so I don't like that so much more going to the store because I go literally like every day. So it's not fun anymore. But I will say when I get a chance to meditate, when I get a chance to lay around, like it's so deep that Sister Greer Ill was talking about being comfortable at home.
Mhm.
Like I'm a homebody.
Mhm.
I absolutely adore being home and having
Mhm.
like the most comfy pajamas on, just
Mhm.
watching TV, watching movies, like whatever.
Mhm.
Um, like that to me is like the most peace,
Mhm.
especially if everybody has been taken care of and everything is okay. Like everybody just gets that chance to just chill and relax. And
Mhm.
so for me, that's what it looks like, being able to just breathe, watch what I want to watch, do what I want to do, read if I want to read, pray if I want to pray, meditate. Like that's a sense of peace that no one can give you but yourself.
That's
Mhm.
right, sister.
And
That's
Mhm.
being
right.
able to focus on the blessings of Allah, because we got to be honest, that's a blessing to do that.
Yes,
Yes.
it is.
Coming from where
And
I came from,
it's
I, I remember
sister.
I remember when me and my husband
Mhm.
first started having children, and our first two, he would say, "Why you always buy them pajamas?" And I would be like, "Because I want them to be comfortable at home. I
Mhm.
need them to be comfortable at home
Mhm.
because see, when I was growing up, I didn't always have a home
Right.
situation.
Right.
So for me, this means so much more than just, buying a set of pajamas to be in the house. No, I need my children to feel like they are comfortable, they are happy, they love to be with their family, they love to be at home.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
to me, that's what it looks like. And it's, you know, thanking Allah for the constant blessings of being able to have a home. Because I think that's something that a lot of people take for granted.
Mhm.
Mhm.
A lot of people take that for granted. And just, the blessing to be able to pay your bills, everybody don't have that.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So we got to take that into consideration. I
Mhm.
tell my children that all the time. Be grateful that you have
Yes.
a home that you can love and live in and be comfortable.
Indeed.
Praise Allah.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Praise-
Mm.
sister, real quick, but pajamas give, I would like to think, all of us a sense of peace,
Thanks.
a sense of home, because sometimes, and I heard what you were saying, sometimes people are sleeping in t-shirts and shorts, and
Mm,
sometimes people are house hopping, and that's why they dress that way, because they don't have a sense of peace, a sense of home. To be able to slip on some PJs or a nightgown is really peaceful.
mm, mm,
Mhm.
Mhm.
absolutely. And just to quickly excuse me, just to quickly say real quick, because at times my household, like for instance, I used to call my house 7405 live because at 3 o'clock, at 3 o'clock during the weekdays, it would be crazy. The children come home, they are hungry, they're tired, they got to do homework, they got to do a whole bunch of stuff. And so I still do this to this day, even though I come to the store afterwards, but I get them settled. I feed them, I make sure they start their homework. I make sure they take their showers, and then everybody's gonna calm down.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have, because even children have to have that moment of clearing their mind from the day. People don't realize, we all don't realize, I will say, we go through a lot of different feelings, emotions, and thoughts in a day. Everybody from the eldest to the youngest need a minute to program our minds to calm down, bring it down.
Mm-hmm.
We all need that, because our lives can be hectic. It can be hectic. It can be difficult at times, but you have to take that time to bring it down.
Yeah.
Praise Allah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Sister Ravenel Bay?
Yeah. You know what I learned? Self-care doesn't have to be the same thing all the time.
No.
And self-care for one person doesn't mean it's self-care for another.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I think a few things that I've done is, I mean, I love music. I love music. And when I get the opportunity to hear live music when we could, that would take me into another world. If I was sitting at a small, it didn't even have to be anybody famous. It could just be someone who just has the beauty of Allah's gift in their voice or hear musicians. That brought me back to home. My father was a musician. And so when I was little and I'd have the opportunity to go hear music, my mind would go somewhere else. And for me, self-care meant where you all are saying about where do you feel comfortable, where you can release. That was a place for me. And so I had to find that back in my life. It's like, okay, I need to find that again, like where I can go and be in those environments. There's a workout class that I like. I'm not a big workout person, but I've been like, okay, I was struggling trying to find what's the thing for me. And then I fell in love with this brother who does this dance class, like a hip hop dance class. And in that 1 hour that I get the opportunity to go, not often, but when I go, he puts on music, I follow the steps, and I'm not thinking about anything. And we're laughing and joking around. And for me, that is self-care. And then there's simple moments of when it's a weekend and there's nothing on the calendar to do. There's nowhere to go. There's no activities. And I can just say, y'all can eat whatever we want to do. Everybody can do whatever they want to do in their own space. Maybe we'll have maybe a breakfast together, and then everybody can do whatever they want and just be, maybe we play some games or something together. That does fill me up because I enjoy that connectivity with my children, And then there's some times where, I just want to sit down and I just want to just be. Sometimes I need to take a meditative walk, I've learned that during the pandemic, sometimes I need to get up and get out. Like you're right, Sister Hopkins Bay. There's so much happened in a day, or someone's requiring so much of your attention. I'm like, I need 10 minutes to go around the block by myself, and just the clarity and to see. And I've learned, like, I never realized, but I never paid attention to the flowers. The beauty that Allah has. I didn't even pay attention to know that my neighbor had flowers, right? Because you're just going and going. And then I realized, oh, wow, just slowing down. Sometimes even between, if I'm on a work call, I'll take a minute and just do some belly breathing exercises. Just to kind of center me back. Because I feel like when, I'm an extrovert, so I get energy from being with a lot of people. But that means sometimes I pick up that energy and I take it. But it's not mine. So I got to come back and claim mine. And the only way I can do that is just by kind of coming back to being okay and connecting with myself and then connecting with Allah. So those are the things that I've done. But I've given myself permission to learn from others, to say, what are they doing, and bring that in. And I know when I was thinking about this topic, I thought a lot about Sister Grail. I think that you do an excellent job managing your priorities for self-care, it.
Right.
And I'm like, you do what? And you're like, yeah, since I do this, I'm like, okay. So, I think that it gives me inspiration to say, okay, let me try this out. So I try to keep my ear out to try new things because you never know.
You never know. You never know. I mean, sisters, you covered pretty much a lot of what self-care looks like, and I agree with you, Sister Ravenel Bay. It don't always look the same to everyone, because for Greer Ill. She say, turn that phone off. It's 8 o'clock. Don't hit me up afterwards. I'm kind of like the opposite. I
Mm,
would like a call because I galvanize with people. I'm a people's person. I really like to be around. It makes me feel good to have a good conversation, to keep to be available. And
right.
some and as she was saying, she have to do that at times because she needs that quiet time.
Mhm.
So I do that in my meditation time, or when I'm with my Zen group, when we sit around in a circle and we just be still, and we talk
Mhm.
about building up our characters. I share what we know here, but I want to also go back to what I used to do before the prophet. Oh yeah, my nails stayed fly. I I I stayed in a nail salon with the glitter color. I had every glitter color you can name in the book and some. I made the makeup colors.
Mm.
And I kept that going for a full year. My hair getting done, as I shared before, it would be twice a week. I'm going to get that hair spent around. You know that you get it wrapped and it feel good when it fall down. It's bouncy. You're paying attention to, your body and the things that you're self caring about physically.
Mhm.
But that's a lot of physical self-care, and so you also spoke about the spiritual part of things, centering yourself, bringing yourself back to the center, and saying, I need to be strong enough and gas up this spirit in
Mhm.
order to give.
Right.
And that's what I heard, even with sitting in your pajamas and watching television. I'm not gonna lie, when I first came into the movement, maybe the second or third year, I didn't watch television.
Mm.
My children thought I was a hermit or something. They said, Mom, you won't even. I said, I can't right now. I'll waste a lot of time. The prophet said 50 years, 50 years passed me by.
Mm.
So that's how I felt. And then I'm at a place now I know how to make time for that again. You know, I was just so
Mhm.
hungry, and I wanted to, I was obsessed with learning and getting these divine instructions and being better, because that's a part of my natural character, is making myself better than I was yesterday, you know, and
Mm.
and so I love all your answers. I hope that someone heard and can actually um, utilize what you're all saying. Television, ice cream. I love ice cream. Haagen Dazs is my favorite. You
That's
know,
the one. That's the one.
used to be vanilla Swiss almond. Now I do a little vanilla bean. What is it? Vanilla bean
Mhm. Mhm.
with that little crumb cake. I'm a fruity. And I eat a whole big bowl of fruit now. And my husband
Praise
will put a
God.
good movie, and we'll sit right there and just woo, woo, whatever it is, get excited about the movie we get ready to watch.
Mhm.
Family time, my circle of family time is very important to me. I like everybody to come over and sit, talk, share,
Mm.
big mama style. What's going on in your life? Yeah, I'm that one. I put
Mhm.
my glasses down like this and I start asking questions.
Mhm.
I also baking. I'm a baker.
Yeah.
Baker. I love to bake. When I get in the kitchen, I start feeling like my grandmother. I used to wonder why she want to be in the kitchen all the time, and then calling me in there to get the recipes. I'm like, Grandma, I want to go
Yeah.
outside. But I
That's it.
appreciate it. I can feel her presence when I'm cooking.
Mm.
I'm paying homage to my ancestors, you know, and dancing. Music is my thing. I have my own
Mhm.
concerts and I have my own battles. Sometimes my children come sharing them battles. They be like, Ma, you're not doing that new move right. Those things are self care. Whatever you like, do it.
That's right.
Do it. As long
Mhm.
as it uplift your spirit and people can feel that energy, do it. So
Mhm.
thank you for sharing.
It's
Praise
Islam. I would like to it just put on my heart to say that going to the doctor is self care as well.
That's
Mhm.
right. That's
Mm,
right.
And I say that because I know, and this is for some brothers. I know brothers who despise going to the doctor. But going to the doctor and seeing about you is a form of self care. Had I not been going to the doctor, I wouldn't know what my condition is. And
mm,
now, lifting weights and working out is my new self care.
right.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get better. The condition is what it is. So only thing I can do is work around it and make sure that try to hold this body together as long as possible. And it's working out. But Make those appointments.
Okay.
It can be frustrating at times. And trust me, if you got some stuff going on, I know too well about a whole bunch of doctor's appointments and physical therapy and doctor's appointments and all of that. But without going, you gotta let the doctors do what they do. Let them do what they do, and then Allah will do the rest.
Sorry.
Mhm.
Can
Peace.
I actually address a question if you don't mind? Because they ask,
Mm,
how can you do that if you have? It says, what if your environment is a little hectic? Children have to do homework and you have to feed the family. How do you take a minute for yourself so you can get everyone else in order? I think you take a walk to the store. If the house is hectic, take a walk around the block. Say your prayer to yourself while you're doing that walk, and just, as the sisters were saying, be attentive to the flowers, to the change, the seasons changing, the
mm,
leaves are falling off, all of these things, the pavement that you walk on. Ancient ancestors have walked that pavement before. So
Mhm.
you can pull in some kind of nurturing vibration by just taking a walk, even if you can't go too far, just down in front of your house. Just stand outside, stare up in the sky, and just meditate for the moment. Quiet time. Play your favorite song, whatever it is you like to do. Just get away from that noise and then come back and sit everybody down and say, peace, everyone. I
and it's
need everybody to
perfectly,
sit down and be still. You can tell
yeah,
everybody to be still.
yeah,
Everyone, be still for
yeah.
a minute. Let us all do what I just did. Be still. And sometimes when you bring people to attention, to be attentive, and everybody's paying attention to each other at the moment and quiet, they'll realize, like, mommy is asking us to give her some quiet time. She's showing us. You got to
Mhm.
show the family. They don't always know how.
Mhm.
That's
This
right.
Mm.
says when you asked that question, it was, I think I saw it. It was around how do you deal with the chaos and when it's hectic. I've been reflecting around, the order, or the prophet has in here. In one of the verses, it's been in my thoughts a lot, and it says, "She ariseth in the morning. She considers her affairs and appointed to everyone their proper business."
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because I'm not a real morning person. But what I've learned is that if I get up a little bit before everybody else gets up, and I can center myself, you know what I mean? Like, because I'm like, I get up and I'm like, okay, what I gotta do. But if I can become peace with myself when everybody else wakes up, it is easier for me to say, okay, it's time to get up. It's time to get up, love. You need to do X, Y, Z. And my children can see the difference when mommy gets up frazzled, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, we got to get up. And then we doing all this, and there's all this things going on, and all right, hurry, hurry, hurry. Versus when I just give myself that little bit of time. For me, that's self-care. Because when my energy to them is different. I'm not coming at them at this hectic pace. I'm coming at them making sure they're up on time. I'm coming at them with love, and I can bring to them the directness, and I can start to direct. And that thought had came to me because when I was reading it before, and I said, oh, okay, there's a reason why the prophet had it in there for us to do. He said, take care of your affairs. Well, what is the affair that I need to take care of? And the affair I really need to take care of, for me, is I need to sit for a second in calmness so I can go out and get the day started. And so that's how I'm trying to. And every day is not perfect, but I try to buffer that extra time to get myself ready.
That's right.
Right.
Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Who has the next question?
You got it?
Who, me?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm actually going to bring in our sister Britt Bay's question. She had a question for us that she prepared, which is, the prophet tells us that we are creators and we create our own. What is it like having to look at yourself in every situation that life presents where you're involved?
You said, what is it like looking at yourself?
Yeah, the prophet tells us that we are creators and we create our own. What is it like having to look at yourself in every situation that life presents you know, and where you're involved, and what is it like for you to do that?
Sounds like she's saying, what does it look like the part that we played
Hmm.
in that? Could that be what she's trying to say?
I believe so. Sister Berry, I know you were talking about this question beforehand. Do you want to go ahead and kick it off?
When I, we were able to speak to our sister before we went live. She came on, gave us encouragement, and inspired us to do great and deliver as best we can. And so she asked that question, and I said that it looks like reflection, wherever or whatever experience I am having at the moment. It depends on what you're going through. You're reflecting on it, whether you were delivered positive message or response or not. And it's important to know what it looks like, because then you know not to do it again if it wasn't positive. So I just said it looks like reflection on what it is where you can solve your problems best,
Mm-hmm.
how you solve your problems. So praise Allah.
Praise the Lord. I was also going to say, reflection is the business of man. So, you know, we, if it's a situation that has passed, um, whether it's good or bad, I think at times we, you know, look into it and we question ourselves, like, did I handle that the right way? Um, I'll give a prime example. Today, my daughter, praise a lot for my daughter Sakara, she's going through some things at school. Um, whereas though a lot of young ladies in her grade are they're into fighting, into a lot of fighting. My daughter is not, but that energy came toward her, and a young lady came to her and said, "Do you have a problem with me?" And she said, "No." So today I saw the young lady. Now these are 10 and 11-year olds. And I said to the young lady, and I had to think about it. I had to think about it before I even approached the situation. I said, to both of them together, I said, y'all are beautiful young queens.
Yes.
Young queens do not behave that way. And it's so much more to live for. So much more out here to live for. And, your lives haven't even, you haven't even blossomed yet. So just be patient with yourself. And I said, you know, move away from the negative energy that's around you. And so praise Allah for having the courage to even speak to someone else's child, because we all know this is a different day and age. It's
Yes.
a different day and age right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the young lady's response was, "Thank you."
Praise God.
It was thank you. And I was like, grateful, because she didn't have to accept that from me. She didn't know me from a can of paint. But as I reflected on that situation before it happened and after it happened, I said to myself, I handled that as best I could in that particular moment. Would I be able to have done something different? I don't know. But in that particular moment, I did what I felt was right. And I think, first of all, being sincere in everything that you do, everything that you say, Allah is leading and victory is sure. So therefore, when you let Allah lead your tongue,
that's right.
When you let Allah lead your tongue, all will be well.
Mm-hmm.
And that's in any situation.
That's right.
So before you go into something that may be difficult, say a prayer. Because I was saying my prayer as I walked up to the school, because I knew some things had been going on.
Right.
And so I said, I'm praying. Because the first thing, let me just say this. When me and my children first get in our car, before we move, we say the prayer.
That's right.
We say the prayer every morning. And so, I always tell them, have a great day. I love you. When you're feeding positivity into not only your children, your husband, your family, but other people, see, we got to remember, we're supposed to serve all.
That's right.
You know, the strangers at the gate, the foe that seeks to do you harm, all those different people. We're supposed to serve everybody.
That's right.
And so that's our duty. And speaking from, having Allah within you, you're going to always do right. You're going to always do right, but make sure that you're listening to that still small voice and not that whisper.
That's right.
So love is the savior of the world, sis. And when I hear you say that, you just gave her some love that she needed.
Right.
Right.
That's why she responded that way.
That's right.
And what I'm hearing is that she may have that support at home. You gave her a reminder.
Right.
She was respectful to you.
That's
she appreciated it.
That's
So
right.
praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
Wow.
Islam, I would go along with Sister Berry Babe, right? Reflection. I guess you look at the part you play and what it looks like is what results came of that situation. Were they harmonious results or were they chaotic? Did you cause harm? Or was someone harmed in the situation? So to me, and like Sister Berry Bay was saying, when you reflect and you see the results of that thing, you know that this is something that I could do that again, or no, I'm not going to do that again because of the results it gave, So it's basically reflecting, I have definitely bumped my head many a times, even in joining the temple, sometimes it's just with a thought. And it's not even a thought against anyone else. It could be a thought on my own, and I have to shake it off and say, "No, sis, no, we doing this. We got this. We got this." When, for instance, my trainer would put weights on, and I'm looking like to myself, "That's a lot." And then I said, he know your condition. He wouldn't give you something he don't think you can handle.
That's right.
So shake it off. You got this. So I got to speak to myself and positivity to myself as well. There was a time where, I've never been a sister that saw something heavy and assumed that I couldn't pick it up. I don't come from that cloth. I had a father who had a daughter, me, but act as if I was maybe his son as well. Because not only did he want me in the house taking care of the house, but I had to be in the garage and the yard with him too, So I'm used to handling things like that. But like I was saying earlier with my condition, it's I don't want to say scary, but I am cautious of it, right? I am, but I tell myself, no, like we did this before. Remember last week when you pushed 270 with your legs? You can do it again. It's okay. So it's just reflecting and coming to the realization that, I can do this, or no, I shouldn't do that.
That's right.
Yeah. I would just say to the sister's question, how I agree with all of you. We create the situations, and we know that we are creators. And so every situation that I'm in, I have to reflect on what part did I play in it, even when it's hectic and it's crazy. Okay, well, maybe something need to get off your plate. Maybe you got too many things going on and you need to sit back. But if you don't reflect, you won't even know what is going on in your plate. And then how can you then prioritize taking care of yourself in that process? So I agree with all of you all have been saying, but for me, it is definitely, you got to reflect. And I try to do that, every year. I try to take a step and reflect and kind of look back and see if there are things that I need to add or take away out of my life to make it better for me. That's something I try to do.
And let's just say, when you say every year, we're talking about every 7 days, according to science. 7 days is a year.
Yes.
We don't stop. We don't stop and wait for 12 months to go by, like, I'm going to reflect in 2023. 7
And
days.
I'm sorry.
No, I just was saying 7 days. Praise the Lord.
When we reflect on something that is a little painful, Brother Chase here, the assistant grand sheik, always says it's okay to reflect on those things. Just don't get stuck there.
Don't
Mhm.
get stuck.
I just felt the need to say that, because
Mhm.
sometimes someone may
Mm.
not know that it's not well to be stuck in those places. You can make yourself sick. The thought of affliction wounds deeper than affliction itself.
Mm-hmm.
Not the thought that's coming, not something that hasn't gotten here yet, but something that's already passed. And you're sitting there dwelling on it,
Mhm.
and it's causing you affliction. So
Mhm.
it's good to reflect, but not get stuck there.
Mhm.
Mm.
Mhm.
Praise the Lord.
Um, I'll go ahead with this question. As a woman or human being in general, what are some of your best assets?
Nice.
Mhm. I would say my mind, and I
Mom,
mean that. I would mean that to have an accomplished mind,
Mm.
you know, to be able to think and manage and you know just get have everything in order. Like, it's a blessing. It's a blessing to have that. When I think about, the chapter in our Quran, holy instructions for man and wife. When
Mhm.
I think about that chapter, being the mistress of the household,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
the fact that she arises in the morning and
Mhm.
point out everyone's duties or affairs. I don't have it. I can't say it verbatim,
appoints
but
everyone their portion.
Mhm.
praise Allah, that part. So, you know, just being able to manage multiple different things that are going on. Sometimes as women, sisters, we wear a lot of different turbans.
Mhm.
Um, we're the cook, we are the housekeeper, we are the mom, we are the wife, we are the
Mhm.
friend, we are the cousin, the daughter. There are a lot of different things, and so there's a lot of things that we do for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Um, so I would say for me, having an accomplished mind means to be able to focus
Mhm.
on what needs to be done and do it in the way that Allah and the Prophet
Mhm.
taught me how.
Mhm.
So that's what I would say for myself.
Praise Allah.
If I may, I'm going to read that instruction. This is instruction 21, marriage instructions for man and wife from the noble prophet. Instruction 17, she ariseth in the morning, she considers her affairs and appointeth to everyone their proper business. I felt like I misquoted, so I just wanted to read that. Praise Allah.
Thank you.
Mm.
Sister
Wow.
Remnov,
Yeah. I mean, I'm in that chapter there trying to think about the greatest asset. The first thought that came to me though was, I have a balance of empathy and
Mhm.
thinking. And I say that I mention those two because when I was little, because I wanted to help so many people, or I cared, or I saw things, or people that needed, I would want to help them or save them. So that was that like level of empathy. And as I've gotten older, I realized that having love for people is
Mhm.
something that I naturally will do, even though it doesn't have to even sometimes be reciprocated. And I would be like, oh, how do I think about this person? And so I think that is something that I try to be mindful of, as well as trying to be fair, you know,
Hmm.
and have fairness. You can love somebody and tell them something that they may not want to hear, but but it has to be, in my mind, it should be fair, how you deliver that information to them. And so I'm the friend, right? When something's going down and like, okay, you may not give me what I want to hear, but what do you think about this? And I try to look at it from different points of view to see how this person, friend A might have thought about it, how friend B might have thought about it, and try to think about what are they trying to accomplish. And how do you bring back the love? Because I think that if Allah allows you to be in someone's presence or to see that person, it could help you be a better person. But there's an opportunity to display that love that the sister mentioned earlier, the stranger at your gate before it seeks to do you harm. And I feel like every test that we have is about, how do I have an expression of love for each other? Because we're all connected.
Yes.
We're all living things are connected. So how do I do that? So that's my thoughts on that, sister.
Wow. Well, first I want to say, before I answer, I wanted to cite the prophet said that where you're most strong, therein thou art most weak. And the reason why I thought of that, because I sing. And I used to think and was told that that was a gift. It's a talent. It's a beautiful talent. And I was told it often. And I used to beat myself up like, I'm supposed to be making music. I'm supposed to be doing this because I'm thinking that is one of my major talents. But in hearing the prophet say that, how do you make that a positive? Because it wasn't meant for me to go into the industry of R&B music or gospel, whatever it was chosen for. I utilize my voice to heal. I don't just use it in singing, because we know that sound heals, right? But it also, that vibration you bring from your voice and the words that you use, the prophet said, every word I speak is spirit. We are spirit. We are thoughts of Allah. So right. How do I constantly practice being that spirit, one who can deliver a sound, a beautiful sound of healing? I can do it in my words, So I utilize my voice in my healing circles, in my healing sessions. I sing. I start off with a song, to bring us to a certain tone and vibration. And then I do a lot of humming, a lot of chanting. I utilize that particular gift. And when I speak to people, I try to speak to them in a certain tone. I like to, back in the days, I used to always yell at my children when I'm chastised. And they go, oh my God, she loud like her father. So I tone that down, and I don't have to yell at them no more. I give them the look, as we always do, but then I just speak the words of the prophet, the words of love. And they be looking at me like they feel bad. Like, I want to do right. Oh gosh, she got to go there. So using my voice, using what I know to the best of my ability, because I believe it works. I have faith that it works. And so my faith is my talent. My faith is my gift. Standing in it and true, no matter what or who feels what about me, doesn't matter. One day they will feel the same way, because transformation is not always comfortable. I'm aware of that. So that's another gift. I'm very attentive to how I feel and other people feel, because it don't feel good when you do something wrong to someone. I will call somebody I can trust and say, how you think I came off? That wasn't right. I really would. I wouldn't do it with the person that did it to me, not right away, but I'll call a friend, because that's what we are here for, to assist each other. Right. Everything is bound by course of every living thing. We don't live amongst ourselves.
That's right.
We are beings. And how do you be the great mother, a great aunt, a great sister, a great grandma, a great friend, a great wife? How do you do that? And just, the question is amazing, because it makes us reflect. Don't limit yourself, because we all are capable of these things. It's not limited to one. Love is universal. So love is a gift. And I use that word a lot. And I mean it. I speak it from the heart, because that's how I feel about myself. So that is my gift, to love me as well. So praise Allah.
Praise Allah. I just got to say, Real quick to just Camel Walk with the Sister Berry Bay. We were honored at Temple 21. She sang for us during, in between speakers, and the prophecies. You can, I'm not quoting it right, but in our religion, Thanksgiving song and praise. Where I'm at. And when so thank you, sister, because you were able to demonstrate that you use that asset, that gift, to change the vibration. And it's amazing sometimes when we're in situations when you hear music, it could change the vibration just by the sound. And so thank you for bringing that up. But that is a part of self-care too.
I'm gonna just be real quick if I can, because I was hoping Sister Hopkins Bay can get her question in. My top 3 assets, real quick: love, honesty, and perseverance.
Ooh, come on. Praise Allah. Powerful.
Praise Allah.
In that order.
In that order. Come on.
Praise Allah. I don't know if we have time for this question because we're coming up on the end of it. But give me 1 second to pull it up. And it is, how does being everything to everyone else benefit you?
Say it one more time, sis.
How does being everything to everyone else benefit you?
Okay, I'm gonna jump in because I know we only got a little bit of time.
Yes.
I don't know if I want to be everything to everyone. So that was my first thought, is I don't know if I'm trying to be everything to everyone. I want to be helpful to others, because in my way of giving, you reciprocate love. It's like when you give someone a gift, you're giving that gift unconditionally. It makes you feel good too. And I think for me in my heart, when I have the ability to give something to someone else, it's about them, but it's also because it makes me feel good, and it shows that we're connected and we're binded together, and it's an expression of love. Peace.
Praise Allah. Go ahead, Great Ill, because you didn't get to speak last time.
That's okay. It's I can't be everything to everyone. I can be a lot of things to some people. I'm not gonna stretch myself out like that, because it's just impossible. Now if you're talking about immediate family, like in your household, the joy of being there for them, for those people that you're able to extend yourself to, it is a joy in it when you don't stretch it out too much. Because remember, we always have to save some for ourselves. Peace.
Praise Allah. Wow, that question is a little difficult to answer in a short time, but I would say that being mothers, being sisters, we are all of those characters to people. But as you just said, Sister Great Ill, you have to keep it in moderation. Give what you can. Don't overdo it. Don't overstep your boundaries. What you don't know, you don't know. Call somebody and say, hey, I think I got somebody that can answer that question for you or assist you. So it's about unity. Find someone that can help you if you can't be that to that person.
Peace. I would just say really quickly, because we don't have time to really dive into that question. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Praise Allah.
Praise Allah.
All right, sisters. Well, we are at the close of our show. I want to thank all of our viewers for being with us this evening and sharing your thoughts and your vibration and your positivity with us. In 2 weeks, we are actually having our finale show for the end of the season. And that also means that all the other wonderful shows that we have here on and with us, Universal Love, it will be there in 2 weeks, and it'll be the last show before we all take a bit of a break, but not really, because we are going to be celebrating our holy month in January. And so please stay tuned, because there's going to be so much happening in the month of January that you are not going to want to miss. I also want to give a special honors and prayers for us to give uplifting thoughts for Sister Barbara Greer, who is Sister Greatill's mother, who was recuperating. And so we ask all of you to take a moment and give your positive, uplifting thoughts to allow her to heal and get back to where we need her to be.
Praise the Lord.
And with that, I say thank you all for being with us, and you have a wonderful evening, and may Allah bless us all, and as we go out, and we'll see you in a few weeks. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.